You're listening to the Chris Jenny Show, featuring Meej.
Featuring Meej? No, I thought it was Deej.
Oh, you're listening to the Chris Jenny Show, featuring Deej on WCOMLP Chapel Hill and Carver.
Can you believe I got Aaron Heilman on the show tonight?
What, you did? Who's Aaron Heilman?
He's a famous baseball player. How about that?
Wow. How much trophies does he have?
Oh, I bet he's got a bunch of trophies.
Like 10,299.
No, like 30.
30?
Yeah. How is online second grade?
It's going good.
Do you have a favorite special?
Yes, I like music.
Are mom and dad good helpers?
A little bit.
Not the best?
No.
But maybe probably not the worst either, right?
They're probably close to the worst.
Close to the worst?
Uh-huh.
Oh, jeez. All right. Is there anything else you want to tell the audience before we start the show? Why don't you tell them about that video that you made this weekend with your friend?
Oh, that video.
That was fantastic.
It was the Teresa and Mackie show.
What did you guys talk about?
We talked about what is happening to us at home in quarantine.
Like exciting things or boring things or just medium things?
They were kind of exciting, except for that they weren't true.
Oh, okay. All right, let's start the show.
Okay, let's start the show.
I jumped on my Ben, I shook him by the hand, and we passed the time of day when questioning not his views. On a crux of life, philosophy, he had the instinct clear, a simple words to say. I am going, any which way the wind may be blowing. I am going, where streams of whiskey are flowing. I'll curse, let it soar, jump bail and landed up in jail, or is up tried to scratch me, but the rope always been slack. And now another pile. I'll go down to Chelsea. I'll walk in on my feet, but I'll lay there on my back because I'm going. I am going. Any which way the wind may be blowing. I am going. Where streams of whiskey are flowing. Yeah! Philosophy, there is nothing ever gained by a wetting cold and tear. When the world is too dark, and I need the light inside of me, I'll walk into a bar and drink 15 pints of beer. Because I'm going, I am going, any which way the wind may be blowing. I am going, where streams of whiskey are flowing. I am going, any which way the wind may be blowing. I am going, where streams of whiskey are flowing. Where streams of whiskey are flowing. Where streams of whiskey are flowing.
Good evening, friends.
Good evening, one and all.
Good evening, Deej.
Good evening, Chris.
What a show. We're back, baby. We're in the studio.
Yeah, it's been a minute, huh?
Well, we did. So we're approximately 6.5 feet away, by the way, for the audience.
Yeah.
Should we measure that or just...
Well, it's metric, so I think we're good.
We're good on the metric
it's like
system, says Deej.
Yeah.
We're happy to be back in the studio. We took an episode off a couple weeks ago, Deej. And I'll get into why later, but I'll tell you what, that was not a popular move among our audience.
Yeah.
We got some audience reaction for that. Listen to this, Deej. This is Rob Price from Huntington, West Virginia. Listen to this.
Sorry, gang.
Jams, that's me.
Yeah?
I feel like last night was a rerun. Are we already out of material? The last episode, we were not live. We redid the Rick Huckabee episode.
Yeah, I mean, doing one that recent, that was kind of like re-gifting something like the same Christmas.
Oh, so you agree with the audience?
I got it. Hey, no, great episode. Yeah, when like Huckabee, Aristotle, and then Huckabee again, right?
No.
Was there a
were
third
couple-
episode in
Well, we had
between?
Laurel Stolte on,
Okay.
the vice principal.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
My family went to the beach for a couple of days. That's why we weren't live. And this is Jeff Prater's comment. Listen to this, Deej. People have been working remotely for 6 months, and you can't pull off a remote radio show?
It stings because he's right.
And then Rob again, the show seems too new for a rerun.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, like I said, it's like giving something back that it just still feels fresh. A repeat's got to be like forgotten freshness.
Well,
you know?
there you go. Rob Price, Jeff Prater, DJ Simons agrees with you. So
Yeah.
in my defense, Deej,
Yeah.
number one, I thought that was a fantastic episode.
Absolutely.
Huck is a huge star. You know, he's not a household name, but he is a big star.
Not yet.
I reworked the intro.
Yeah.
I added an homage to Eddie Van Halen toward the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Rob Price, I was surprised by. Well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
But now Jeff Prater, you remember we had him on this show.
Yeah. Train boy.
The guy who loves being on the train.
Yeah.
And here's what I'm wondering, Deej. I'm wondering if he's piling on me because we haven't had him back.
That could be, or maybe just all those train rides kind of give him a little jostling in the brain.
But Jeff, please understand, you're a friend of the show. We do want you back on. The problem is, guys, listen, we only do this twice a month. It seems like forever ago that Prater was on, but that was like 7 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Is my point.
Practically 1979 in radio time.
So, Deez, the audience loves a news segment on the show when you give a news update. So, what do you got on the news front?
The news. All right. Well, I'm hearing from sources that I've been hanging out alone in my house.
Wait, you needed sources for that information?
Well, unconfirmed anonymous sources.
Doing anything, any home projects, anything you can give the
jeez.
audience, Deej. They love hearing from you.
Man, I think I redid my deck last time, right? Was that the big
We already
news?
talked.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah. So the deck's repelling water like whoa.
Oh, I got one.
Yeah.
In lifestyle news, a recent announcement of the engagement of 2 softball powerhouses,
Oh, that's right.
Lauren
yeah.
Hartman and Mark Adams.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Congratulations to them. They are engaged. They are friends of ours from softball, as well as just in life. And the first thought that came to my mind when I heard they were engaged, can you imagine the combined batting average of those 2? Name a couple that would have a higher spousal batting average than Lauren Hartman and Mark Adams.
Jeez, drawing a blank.
The only ones I can come up with, I've always considered the Trahys as like the first family of softball.
Yeah.
And I love them dearly as well. But I mean, Lauren, you bat third. Mark, you bat fourth. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, that's a literal power couple right there.
That is a power couple.
All I can say is I hope their babies have their mom's glove in the outfield. Just kidding, Mark.
But he can ball. Mark can ball.
He is. He's an amazing athlete.
But Lauren is. She you can put her anywhere in the outfield. I've been playing softball for 30 some odd years, Deej.
Yeah.
And I would say Lauren Hartman is probably in the top very small number of people of all time females that I played with. I'd say top 3 or 4
Yeah.
all time in my life females that I played softball with.
Yeah, we've had some good ones, and she's definitely up there.
Yeah, and guys is a little harder to pick a top, but Mark is obviously way up there as well.
Yeah, and Kelbell was great, and Rachel was great, and I'm probably forgetting some other great
Oh,
people,
many.
but,
Yeah, and no disrespect to any other players, but come on. It's
I mean disrespect.
Yeah.
But, Chris doesn't.
I never know what Deej is going to bring.
No.
Oh, man. So I'm happy for them. They're great kids, and I like them both a lot, and I'm just happy for them, Deej.
Good kids.
Will we ever play softball again? For
Yeah.
goodness sake.
I think so. Softball is tantalizingly close to easily social distancing. I mean, when you're in the outfield, you're nowhere near anybody. When you're in the infield, you're spaced out. Yeah, if you can come up with a way to let the runner run the bases and the fielders get out of the way, and then maybe have the catcher stand back a bit. You know, that umpire, batter, catcher cluster is kind of tricky, but I think it can be done with some minor adjustments.
Yeah, and the umpire in our leagues can't really see anyway, so they don't really need to be there.
Yeah, sometimes they're facing the backstop, and I'm like, guys, ball game's over here.
Well, one of them, the game was in the middle of the game, and he was in the Porta-John. So, I mean, come on. We don't really need those dudes.
Yeah. He's probably cleaning it.
Well, right, because you pointed out earlier, the umpires are also city workers.
They
for
are,
the town
yeah.
of Carborough.
He's probably cleaning it off with his little home plate brush.
Oh, gosh. So JT Roach, we had him on in the past. He also wants to come back on the show and talk about bees at some point. So we can make that happen at some time in the future.
Apiary.
Yeah, that's exactly what he said. He used that word, apiary. What does that mean?
Just like it's like a place where bees live and do their thing.
So JT Roach will get you back on. Prater, we'd love to have you on, but again, we only do this twice a month. And I can't imagine Rob wanting to come on.
Yeah.
He's been one of my best friends since like 5th grade. I've never heard the guy say like 20 words.
Well, new Jeff rule, he can only appear on the show if he is on a train at the time.
Oh, that's intriguing. That's
So,
intriguing.
Better start booking that Amtrak trip, my friend.
And he loves a good challenge too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you heard that. Prater, if you're listening, and I'll text him as well. That's a great idea. So Deej,
Yeah.
it is October.
It is. It's that time of year. Usually there's softball playoffs right around this time
Usually
too.
we'd be playing softball, but we're not.
there's-
But that puts more emphasis on what, Deej?
The World Series
The World Series
of
of
baseball,
Of baseball.
of major leagues.
And so what a guest we have tonight.
Yeah.
And for the second time in the history of the show, we're going to call him. But nothing says October. Nothing says baseball in my mind like DJ Simons and tonight's guest, Aaron Heilman.
Yeah.
Can you believe we got him?
How'd we do it?
Assuming he answers his phone. When we
yeah.
call him.
Let's not jinx it. God, what if he doesn't answer?
It's game 3 tonight, right now, right?
Game 3. Yeah.
Here's what I was thinking, Deej.
Okay.
I'll try to get him on the horn. Why don't you give the audience kind of like a DJ Simons commentator breakdown? Where are we at leading up to the playoffs? How do we get where we are now? Who's playing, etc. I'll get Aaron on the horn, and then we'll just go from there.
Yeah. Okay. I guess.
You're making a weird face. Do you
Yeah.
not? I thought you'd love that.
I'm on it. Yeah. So the game of baseball usually has 162 games in a season, but
Not
thanks
that
to,
level of detail, Deej.
well, thanks to
I'm just
SARS-CoV-2,
kidding.
there were only 60 games. The season began in late July, and they expanded the playoffs to 10 teams per league. It's usually 5. So there was this crazy first round where, like, almost everybody, there were teams with losing records playing, and then just kind of everybody played everybody. But now we're at the World Series down to the final 2, and it's the 2 best teams in each league, the LA Dodgers and the Tampa Bay Rays. And the series is tied 1-1. And as I speak, it's the middle of the 6th, and the Dodgers are up 6-1 on Tampa. I like both of these teams. They both have blue. The Durham Bulls are the AAA affiliate of the Tampa team, so all the kids we see at Bulls games get called up to the majors and go play for Tampa. I lived in Los Angeles for several years, and I've probably went to like 6 or 7 Dodger games, and so I like both these teams. I'm not really finding myself pulling for one or the other. Tampa versus Dodgers in the World Series.
And let's welcome him in. Aaron Heilman, can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can. There he is. He's back.
Aaron, welcome.
Woo!
We made the connection.
Yeah, good to have you back.
Nothing says October like DJ Simons and Aaron Heilman. That's all I'm going to say.
That's true.
Wow. It's an honor to be here, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Welcome, brother.
So, Aaron, are you? Do you habitually watch the World Series?
I wouldn't say I habitually watch it. I was kind of sidetracked a little bit. We were watching some figure skating earlier. I know
Oh,
it might
yeah.
be sacrilegious in October, but
In your yard from your homemade Zamboni?
oh yes.
Yeah.
That's the rink is about to go up. We're starting to get cold temperatures, so
It's the
closely
most
approaching
wonderful
Zamboni
time.
time.
Nice.
Tell us a little bit about Aaron Heilman.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Good friend of the show.
For the folks at home.
Good friend of ours.
Yeah.
Notre Dame alum. Legend. And longtime MLB player.
Yep.
Geneva, Illinois' finest, I would say. That's probably a pretty obvious thing, right?
That's a lot of pressure. Who's the competition?
Well, now that the Spice House is closed.
Yes, the Spice House is gone.
Oh,
So we got to go look elsewhere for our fine culinary spices.
Jess and I were very disappointed about the closure of the Spice House, Aaron.
It was a major attraction.
It was. I think our audience knows Aaron. He's been on the show a couple of times. Aaron, we're glad to have you back. I was thinking about something, though, before we get too much further.
Yeah.
Okay, we're in the middle of the World Series right now.
Yeah.
Would it make more sense to have you on earlier, like during the playoffs, so we could talk about more teams, or right in the heart of the World Series so we can just talk about the final 2? What do you prefer, Aaron?
Oh, you know me. I'll always talk baseball. It's always an exciting time. Playoffs are fun. You do have a lot more teams, and especially this year with the shortened season, they tried to level the playing field a little bit and give more teams an opportunity, given the condensed schedule. So it's been an interesting year, and it's been fun to kind of watch guys, navigate this weird season where you don't have as long to get into a groove and to really, hit your stride.
Yeah.
That's the key, right?
It is. There's a reason that you play 162 games.
Yeah.
And the season isn't decided after the month of April. And it's a marathon. And I think that's one of the things I always loved about it is that it is a grind. It's not about one day. It's not about one pitch or one at-bat. It's about the whole season as a whole and coming together as a team and playing hard and getting to the World Series.
Yeah, it's tough to, say, pick a Cy Young pitcher because, these guys throw 12 games.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
Unfortunately, it probably won't be the first time that there's an asterisk next to somebody's name, but there's some pretty good pitchers out there, and I think, they'll figure it out.
As a Cleveland fan, it actually worked out because Shane Bieber is almost definitely going to win the AL Cy Young because he won the Triple Crown, so that's kind of a no-brainer. The NL is a little trickier,
Right.
But Trevor Bauer, I think, is probably going to win on the Reds, and he was on the Indians for most of his career, too.
Mm-hmm.
So it worked out for Indians fans.
Yeah, it is. I think everybody's just trying to make do the best they can, and I think everybody's just happy that they're actually playing and not
really.
sitting at home.
Right,
There was a lot of back and forth early on about conditions and how they were going to play and what precautions were going to be taken. But I'm glad they worked it out and were able to piece together a season.
Yeah, I'm impressed they were able to do it. There were a lot of naysayers early on. Lots of people were being like, oh, it'll never work. Somebody's going to get COVID and the whole season's going to get canceled. And that did happen early on. The Cardinals missed about 2 weeks, and I think the Marlins missed a week or so. And it was looking pretty stinky at first, but then they did it.
You're right. I think everybody finally came together and was like, oh, no, if we don't take this seriously, then there is going to be no season. Because if we mess this up one more time, you're going to miss too many games, and it's not going to, be a fair season. So I was glad to see everybody took it to heart and, really, it seems like, took all the precautions that they needed to keep guys healthy and on the field.
Yeah, it's one thing for the NBA to bubble up. Probably the least number of people you need for a team sport. In baseball, you need a lot of humans. You need a lot of people,
35, 40 people on the roster at any given...
Plus managers and
over the
whatnot.
course, yeah.
Yeah, you got 25-man roster, plus you've got staff. I know they expanded it this year to have a couple extra players, but... Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're usually traveling on a normal year with at least 40 people, just going city to city every 3 days, and that's kind of hectic. So they made it work. It's been impressive.
So what's the deal right now? Is the entire World Series being played in one city? Is that correct?
Yeah, in Dallas, right, at Arlington Stadium, I think.
Yeah.
Do either of you think that the baseball manager, the 70-year-old baseball manager, will ever stop wearing the actual uniform?
They wear hoodies now.
They don't wear the uniform, but they still wear the stirrups.
Some of them, but so Tito Francona, the Indians manager, he's usually wearing a hoodie.
Aaron, what do you think?
I like the old school. Bobby Cox used to put his spikes on.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's awesome.
He put metal spikes on to go sit in the dugout and coach.
That is old school.
Aaron, did you play for Bobby Valentine, or was that before your time?
My first year, Bobby Valentine was a coach, yeah.
Okay.
So when I came up in 2003, he was there. So I got
Nice.
about half a season with him.
Okay. Yeah, he was, I don't know what he was like in person, but he was a trip. He was always entertaining to watch.
He was a character, but I tried to, remain that old adage as a rookie is be seen, not heard, and stay out of the way and don't talk until spoken to.
Yeah.
So... He's more of a position player manager. Some managers talk a little bit more to the pitchers, but for the most part, most of the managers, relate more to the position players and the hitters, and then pitchers kind of stick with the pitching coaches.
Yeah, managers seem to be former catchers more often than not, right?
A lot of times, yeah.
In most facets of life, Aaron, I agree with you. I'm very old school. But I do think if I was managing a baseball club, I think I think I'd wear business casual, honestly.
Yeah, like Connie Mack.
Well, you get the NBA that they wear a suit, There's
Yeah.
just something about baseball, and
There
you never
is.
know when your manager's going to come out and hit fungos for infield.
Yeah, baseball's just a little different from the other sports. They have refs. Baseball's got umps.
It is.
They score
It
points.
is.
We score runs.
It is.
Just everything is a little different. That's okay.
Some friends of mine just the other night went to hear this cool cat blow. They said he sang so good that the roof fell in and he didn't even stop the show. They don't remember the place, but they remember the face, and now everybody wanna go. Woo! Top Jimmy cooks, Top Jimmy swings. He's got the love. Woo! Top Jimmy, he's the king. Jimmy on the television, famous people out there with him. Jimmy at the news at 5. And Jimmy on the radio and even on the video, the baddest cat alive. Driving all the women crazy, all they want is Jimmy, baby, love when he rolls his eyes. Top Jimmy cups, Top Jimmy swings. He's got the love. Top Jimmy, woo, shake it, baby. Two-joint Jimmy is the latest thing. He's got the sound that everybody digs. Get a joint beat jumping with the band beat bumping, and you know they play a crazy gig. When you ain't been living till you see the living end. Top Jimmy and his rhythm pigs. Top Jimmy goes. Top Jimmy swings. He's got the love. Top Jimmy, go Jimmy. Top Jimmy, go Jimmy. Top Jimmy, ow, he's the king. Oh, Jimmy!
Nice.
Aaron, I just remembered Bobby Valentine. He was ejected from the game, and then he came back into the dugout wearing a fake mustache and glasses.
Yeah.
Kind of doing
Yeah.
a weekend at Bernie's. I don't know what look he was going for.
I was going to ask if he was wearing a
Tom
fake
Selleck
mustache.
impersonation. I don't know.
Yeah. I like that he had a fake mustache in the clubhouse somewhere in his office.
Right, like that was just part of what he carried to the field every day.
That is fantastic. You got to know you have a level of like, I might get kicked out if you're rocking a fake mustache in your duffel bag. You know what I mean? That's great.
You come prepared. You're like a couple wigs and
That's great. So, Aaron, I was thinking about a couple things I wanted to run by you. So, do pro scouts come to college games?
yeah, all the time. High school games. I mean, I've heard they're going to like practically little league games now.
What was the youngest age that you were playing that you knew a scout was in the stands?
Probably when I was in high school,
High school.
you saw a couple around, and then by the time I was junior and senior, you'd start seeing them a lot more frequently.
And at that age, does that get in your head? Or I'm trying to remember what was going through my mind in high school. Like, does it get in
Yeah.
your head, or you're just like, block it out and just get this guy in front of me out?
I think the thing with any sports is you get into a routine. So you've got your pregame,
Right.
you've got your warm-ups, your whole routine that you do, it kind of gets you into that mindset and gets you locked in and, puts you in that zone. And
Yeah.
So once the game gets going, like you really don't notice other things, and when you get really locked in, I can remember being out there on when I was having good days and practically not even seeing the batter in the box.
Right.
You get that focus to where you're like,
Wow.
all I see is a catcher's glove, and that's what I'm going to. The thing a lot of young kids forget about is they're watching all the time, not just when you're on the mound during the game. It's how you're warming up. It's how you're taking batting practice. What are you doing in between? Are you messing around? Are you taking your work seriously and doing all that? So yeah, it was a lot of scouts, a lot of college coaches and recruiters coming around too. But you just try to focus on the game, and once you get into it, you're in the game. You don't really think about anything else.
But by your junior year in high school, you knew for sure there were people in the stands, and you knew they were there to watch you. That's crazy.
Yeah.
We had a handful of college people coming to watch the soccer players, but not me, other players on my team, but nothing like a pro scout. I don't know how I wouldn't think about that, but I see what you're saying. It's routine. You block it out, you look at the catcher's glove, and you just go about getting the dudes in front of you out.
For me in high school, my goal was to go to college and get an education. That was my number one goal, and I got drafted out of high school, and I was like, look, don't draft me. I want to go to college. Right. I'd rather spend 4 years in college than 4 years in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
So, one, and you can correct me if this is wrong, but I feel like there's kind of a stereotype that, you don't want to necessarily draft a high school pitcher. I feel like the polished college pitcher is kind of the more attractive high draft option. In high school, are you thinking about that at all? You want to go to college and kind of get more refinement in college so you have a better shot then, or are you not thinking that way just yet?
At that point, I really hadn't. As a kid growing up playing baseball, obviously you dream about playing in the big leagues, but I was pretty realistic about it, and I was good, but I wasn't unbelievable. I wasn't striking everybody out and doing everything else, but yeah, it was I want to go to college and spend those 4 years getting better, and hopefully not have to spend as much time in the minor leagues. And you get an education, and you can go do whatever else after baseball.
So what you're saying is a degree from Notre Dame was your fallback.
Right.
So when you did get drafted eventually, what was that like?
It was very surreal. It was barely on the internet, so we're trying to watch it live on the internet because it wasn't streaming on cable TV like they do now. Yeah. It was just very, like I said, it was very surreal. It was kind of wait, did that really just happen? And it took a little bit to sink in. And I think out of high school was the Yankees drafted me, and got to know the scout pretty well. But they knew I wasn't gonna sign. I wanted to go to college, but they took a chance late and said, don't sign this, and if you want to come play, we'll talk. But we know what your decision is, so it was a pretty neat experience for the first time anyway. Man,
I think that would be better back in the day versus now, because I feel like back in the day you could go to college, no problem. You could kind of live your life, and now I imagine these top ball players, every move they make is on Twitter or social media,
and there's people going going on their Twitter and rewinding back to when some of them were in middle school.
Yeah, well, he just said scouts are coming to Little League games, and that's nuts.
I would hate if someone had access to my thoughts in middle school.
Yeah,
they should be off limits. Yeah, nobody needs that.
I was trying to capture my farts in a bottle at that age, certainly not thinking about my future.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
So I got to imagine, I don't know your Notre Dame stats, Deej probably does. They got to be good or you wouldn't have been drafted. Does Notre Dame have the equivalent of a Hall of Fame? And if so, are you in it, or do we need to make some phone calls here?
A few of my records still held up over the years. The Joyce Center, where the basketball team plays, upstairs near the monogram room, they've got big displays where all the monogram winners have, and everybody who lettered there gets their name up on the wall. So that's a pretty big deal.
There's a life-size cutout of you there. I saw it. We were there for a football game, and I was like, Jess, look, look at this, man. I was like, I got to show Aaron. And she's like, honey, he knows. I mean, it's been there for years.
Now, Aaron, I've got a list of Notre Dame alums who played in the big leagues, and this is actually this is a pretty good list.
Let's hear it.
We got Cab
there have been
Anson,
some
Hall
great
of Famer.
players.
Cab Anson.
Carl Yastrzemski, Hall of Famer.
Whoa.
Craig Counsell, who's the Brewers manager now, a long time.
He's only got what, 3 World Series rings?
Yeah.
Damn.
John Axford, he was a pretty good setup guy. There's Aaron, AJ Pollock. You probably played with a couple of these guys, huh?
Yeah. Did you mention Lidge? Brad Lidge?
No, I didn't get down to him yet. I had it sorted by seasons in the big leagues, but yeah, there's Lidge.
But wait, Carl Yastrzemski?
Yeah.
Wow.
Christian Parker probably played with you.
Yeah.
Nice. That's fantastic. Are you like connected to Notre Dame in any official capacity today with the baseball program? Like you just live a couple hours away. That would seem like a good connection. Like, I don't know, if I were them, I could see like bringing you in to talk to the pitchers or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I have. As you know, we make it back to many football games, so
Yeah.
we try to stay in touch. And when we're in town, I usually pop over, maybe once a year if they're having practice or something, and just say hi to the guys and run around the bases like a little kid. And
That's got to be such a benefit for the program to have someone like Aaron come back. They're like, okay, look, he was one of you. I just got to see that as a huge benefit for the baseball program when you come back.
it's fun to see what the program has evolved to, and all the facilities that they've been able to improve over the years. And
Oh my goodness!
it's good to see the kids, man, and like how much fun they're having.
Notre Dame does not mess around when it comes to facilities. They really, oh my gosh. Their football stadium, when I first started going to games, was kind of old-fashioned. In the current era, they decided to upgrade, and every upgrade is just like the best of anything it could possibly be. It's nuts.
Yeah.
I think they're on their third field house now since I was there.
Yeah, we missed the Shark, Jeff Samardzija, also.
Oh, yeah, Samardzija.
Yeah.
Smart. He was
More of a football player, right?
Stud on the football team and a great pitcher, right?
Well, yeah, he's a great
Yes,
major league
yeah.
pitcher. I'm sure he was phenomenal in
played for the
college.
Cubs. Yeah, he was just. I guess it would have been 4 years younger than me because he was a freshman after I left.
Borderline NFL wide receiver, but obviously like top-notch MLB pitcher. Don't you think, Aaron, or what do you think?
Yeah, I remember talking to him a little bit about it, and I think he valued his health
Yeah, makes sense.
a lot to make that decision to be like, you know what, I'm going to stick with baseball. I got a lot more longevity ahead of me.
Was he getting a lot of professional interest in football? Do you know?
I don't think there was a question that he would have been drafted as a wide receiver had he made the effort.
Yeah, like a third, fourth round. I mean, he was a stud, really tall, great receiver. I mean, yeah.
He would always go right across the middle and just get smoked and hang on to the ball. And you're like, you look at him and he's kind of tall and lanky and great hands and just strong and really dynamic athlete. So it was fun to watch him.
It's funny though, because like as a wide receiver, you kind of use your catching and your running skills, and as a pitcher, you don't use those at all. Like
The skills are not complementary.
So it's all the more impressive that he was like major league good. Like he had these three plus probably major league tools.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Tom Glavine was the Hall of Fame pitcher. He was actually drafted as a hockey goalie. I think one of the NHL teams drafted him, and there's no skill set that translates that goes between the two. No overlapping Venn diagram.
Tom was one of the, you wouldn't know it to look at him, but he was a great athlete. We were in New York when Tom played, and I remember the Islanders came out, and we were asking him because he went and took his kids played hockey, and he still plays hockey, and they were out skating around doing all this, and we're like, Tom keeps talking this big game, like when he was back in high school and skating in Boston, he was pretty good, and they just kind of gave a nodding look like, yeah, he can skate. And we're like, geez, Tom hiding the skating talent there.
You need to invite him to your yard.
Now, he wasn't a big guy, right? He was like 5'11", 175, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's about right, yeah.
But wait a minute, didn't we learn a stat on this very show a couple of episodes back? Didn't Aaron Heilman get a hold for Tom's 300th win, or is that someone different?
Yeah, did you get the hold
No.
in Tom Glavine's 300th win?
Yeah, for sure. That's
Yes.
right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. He finished up with like 3-0 something, so like it was kind of like toward the end it was like, is he going to do it? So was there much pressure there? What was that like?
Oh, that was the only time ever that I think I was ever almost physically sick from being so nervous.
Going into the game.
Going into the game, well, because we were on a road trip and we went. He started in Milwaukee, and I came in to relieve him the start before that 300. And I came in with runners on, like first and second, and I forget who it was, but it was I jammed him, swinging bunt, come off, field it, throw the ball to third. Guy's clearly out, calls him safe.
Damn
So
umpires.
that would have been 2 outs. So then the next guy, I get him to pop up on the infield.
Nice.
And then the next guy I jam and hits right off his knuckles right over the shortstop's head.
That's the
Like,
worst. When you
You
get a
couldn't
guy
have thrown it any better, and you give up a run. I kind of blew it the game before, so then now I'm like, oh, God, don't mess this up again.
Where
so-
else can you get these next gen stats? But the Chris or Jenny show, Deej. I mean, we're next level
Yeah.
here.
Well, speaking of next gen stats, with like the pitch tracks and everything on the umpires, it is easier to scrutinize and grade umpires than ever. There's this Twitter account that tracks every pitch. They're like the umps, called this many balls strikes and this many strikes balls, etc.
Talk about missing the old school.
Yeah, Aaron, how do you feel about that level of scrutiny being available for the umps? Like, what do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing, or what do you think about that?
Well, I think there's a good level of accountability that goes on, which I think is good, and it keeps guys honest. I do kind of miss the old school of
Yeah.
you may have gotten an inch or two off the plate if you earned it. You had to show that you were going to hit your spots and all that. I feel like since the advent of all this, the strike zone has just gotten smaller and easier for hitters. The umpires are just like, well, I don't want to mess up and call a ball a strike. So it's hard. And if you look at these plays that they're calling, the bang-bang plays when they're turning two or, guys running down the first base line, if the first baseman holds his foot on there, they get those calls right so many times.
Yeah.
For the most part, all the umpires are out there busting their hump and doing a good job and really want to have the game go smoothly. So
Right.
it's a little unfair that, every single game now has all these different pitch trackers and everything is scrutinized, and that's always been part of the game of, you got to deal with the strike zone that the umpire had that night.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
Now, did you ever have a favorite ump?
I don't know.
Or do they all suck?
No,
Don't have to name the bad ones, but if there's one that you're like, I like having this guy.
Angel Hernandez always, if he was behind the plate, I always had good luck when he was back there.
There you go. Angel Hernandez. How do you feel about the umps in the Carborough Softball Rec League? We're not fans here at the show.
If you like to gamble, I tell you I'm your man. You win some, lose some, it's all the same to me. The pleasure is to play, ain't no difference what you say. I don't say green, the only card I need is the ace of spades, the ace of spades. Playing for the high wall, dancing with the devil, going with the flow, it's all a game to me. Seven on 11, snake eyes watching you. Double up or quit, double strike or split, the ace of spades, the ace of spades. You know I'm going to lose, and gambling's for fools, but that's the way I like it, baby. I don't want to live forever. gonna be the ace of spades, the ace of spades.
Lemmy rules.
Lemmy.
That was for you,
I
buddy.
met him once.
Yeah, me too. Go ahead, though.
So I was in AAA with Texas with the Rangers.
El
we
Paso?
were in Tacoma, Washington,
Okay.
and he was staying at the same hotel we were. They were going up to play the casino, and we get out, and I'm the old guy on the team, of course. I'm like, dude, that's Lemmy. And everybody's like, who? I'm like, oh my god, I'm old.
I heard he wears like short cut off blue jean shorts and just sits at the edge of the bar and just crushes beers and plays like video poker or something.
Yeah, he was just hanging out, normal. We were leaving to go to the field. I think he was leaving to go to the casino to, go play his gig later that afternoon. So.
That's awesome.
I lived in Los Angeles. This was probably 2003 or 2004. And I was at this bar on Hollywood at Boulevard. And I was in line to get my valet. So in front of me is the guy that played Bud Bundy on Married with Children. And I'm like, whoa, it's Bundy. Then I hear people going, is that Lemmy? And I turn around and just Lemmy's behind me in line. So I was like sandwiched between Lemmy and Bud Bundy. Lemmy's, I feel like in my mind, he's like this big hulking dude, but he's not very tall. He's like 5'8", 5'9".
Really?
Yeah, he's got the big handlebar mustache. I'm 5'11". I turned around and I was like, whoa.
I definitely thought he was huge, and maybe because he puts the microphone up really high and
Yeah.
then kind of like lifts up to it.
Yeah, he seems huge. Yeah, I was a little surprised that he was like normal guy height.
Oh my goodness! So we're 2/3 having met Lemmy here on this
Yeah.
show. That's
Unfortunately,
fantastic.
Passed away recently, so we can't
He
get
did,
the,
yeah.
the hat trick.
Rest in peace.
know.
Rest in peace, Lemmy. Is it Kilmister or Hillmeister?
Kilmister, right?
Yeah, I think it's Kilmister.
Aaron, what team was that when you met him?
I was in AAA with the Rangers.
Nice.
So we were at a Round Rock, but we were playing, I believe it was in Tacoma.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we forgot to say hello
We're
to
up
our
at-
friends, by the way, in Burien, Washington, where
Yeah.
the show is huge.
Yeah.
And Geneva.
Was Nolan Ryan associated with that team, or is that, am I thinking of something else?
He still owned it when I was there. His son was running it.
Okay.
For a AAA program, they had a good system there. They ran it well. It was run more like a big league club than it was a minor league club.
Yeah, cool.
That's awesome. Aaron, really appreciate you coming on. We love it when you come on. This is your third appearance, right?
Yeah. He's the Tom Hanks of
Wow.
our show.
You're the Tom Hanks of the Chris or Jenny show.
I mean, do I get a jacket?
After
You know?
five. After five.
After 5?
What color jacket do you want? Cut him off at 4.
Maybe some like purple crushed velvet. What do you think?
I think he deserves like a king's robe.
Yes.
I would say.
Next year I'll have you on earlier. And I did promise DJ I'd ask you one question. So before we go,
Okay.
I really hesitate to take advantage of our friendship. I don't even think about baseball. It's just like you're my buddy. But keeping DJ happy is one of the things that makes this show work. So you're our preference. You're our priority. But Aaron, if you have any other old major league buddies who would ever want to come on the show, if there anybody else that you think would enjoy this environment and this silly show that we do, we'd love to have them on as well.
Okay. Let me think about it.
Yeah, give it some thought.
Let me be able to pull some numbers out of a hat.
Because DJ loses interest very fast if I don't keep him engaged.
Yeah, I need like major league baseball players to talk to, or it's just like what's the point?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it's like-
Right.
But you're our priority. Aaron's number one on this show forever. We were going to, if you weren't like in the Notre Dame Circle of Honor, we were going to start a committee to like go down to South Bend and say, you need to figure that out. So I just wanted you to know that.
That's funny.
All right. Any last words?
appreciate it.
Any last words, Aaron Heilman?
Let's just watch the World Series. Go Rays, man.
So it's 1-1. And Deej, quick update on the game. Dodgers
Still
are up.
6-1. Bottom of the 8th.
Yeah. I'm going to go out on a weekend update bit because we know that you faced Big Papi once in your career and you took him down.
Yes.
So
Wow.
we're gonna we'll talk about it more next time, but we're gonna go out on a weekend update bit.
Okay.
Deej, last words?
No, thanks for coming on the show, Aaron. Good to talk to you again. And yeah, go
Good
Rays.
to talk to you guys. Thanks.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah.
We'll see you down the road.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You too, bud.
Day for Major League Baseball and what will be the final season for Red Sox slugger David Ortiz. Here with a preview is Big Papi himself, David Ortiz.
All right. ¿Cómo estás? Ellos.
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Shut up.
So, Big Papi, what's your favorite opening day tradition?
Lunch.
I'm sorry, lunch?
That's right. Before the big game, all the players got together in the clubhouse and we all have a big lunch. We're going to have mofongo, lechon asado, pastelito con bistec, refresca de merengue, y bandera con papa frita.
I'm sorry, all of that is lunch?
Yeah, that's right. Big Dominican lunch with Big Papi.
Yeah, okay. By the way, did you see that President Obama went to a baseball game in Cuba?
Yeah, why he go to Cuba and not go to Dominican Republic? We vote for him every election, even though it's not our country. I would have shown Obama all the best places, like the place where they make mofongo, where they make conquito con caramel, and the place where they make yanaqueque con spaghetti. Plus, I could introduce Obama to the Dominican president, a manatee drinking a pina colada. And then we all have a big lunch.
Wait, hold on. None of that was lunch?
Big lunch.
Okay. So, Big Papi, are you going to miss baseball after you retire?
Oh, no, I never really done El Yos. I retired, but I still going to be a spokesman for Bay East Bowl. Bay East Bowl. Do you like basketball and football, but they too fun and fast? Try Bay East Bowl. You hit a ball with a stick, and then you run a little bit with Bay East Bowl. I also do PSA for baseballs, too.
Baseballs?
Yeah, that's right. Hey, what is that thing at the base of your balls? I don't know, but I'm gonna find out one of these days. And if you need more advice from Big Papi, you can always check Welp.
Welp?
Yeah, Welp. Welp. You looking for a good seafood restaurant in Cleveland? Well, I can't help you. I live in Boston, man. How I know what's happening in Cleveland? Hey! Did you like SeaWorld?
Like SeaWorld?
Yeah.
Not really.
I got something better.
Okay.
B-World. It's like SeaWorld, but it's just bees. Everybody gets stung. It's a no good place, but come.
Sorry, you're like a real entrepreneur now, huh?
Yeah, bro. I even got my own dog food.
You have your own dog food?
That's right. Are you tired of your dog going dookie on the carpet? Feed him super chunky cheesy bites. It's a big hunks of cheddar cheese. He no go dookie ever again. Except maybe once, real bad.
I gotta say, I think that super chunky cheesy bites is kind of a tough name to say.
Oh, well, in Dominican Republic, it's a much simpler name.
Oh, yeah?
It's called Wasacaca con queso frito.
Big Papi, everybody!